Hello, hello. Welcome. Come on in, have a seat. Come on in, sit right down. I'll pull a tarot card for you. Oh, I'm in a very, very strange mood today. I don't know about the rest of you, but it has been a very energy-wise, a very challenging last few days. And the closer we get to Milton, heading to shore, the more unsteady the energy gets as we go along. So hey, come on in, have a seat, relax. I'm gussied up from the purple door and covened up, and my love Grim will be back here shortly. He's just getting me a cup of tea. And yes, I know we had all day to get it ready, but it's 4:20, y'all. So you got me for a little while, and then Grim will join us here. How is your October 9th going so far? Wednesday, October 9th, 2024, and it's just a little past 4, what time is it here? 4:25 p.m. That's Eastern time. Hi, babe.
Hello. I'll be right here.
Are you going to sit next to me, or are you going to sit near me?
Next to you.
Okay. Woo! Hello, hello. Hi, and welcome to all of you. I'm going to say hello to a few folks. Hello, Dharma. Hello, Indigo Psychics. Glad to have you. Hello, user 14902639801. Hello, hello. Hello and welcome. Hello, Tanvir. Hello, Wenhow 87. Genevieve, Unsaintly Bias, New Moon Wisteria. Hello, hello. Love to have y'all here with us. This is Gussied Up from the Purple Door. We've got a new camera, so I'm not used to looking up like this. It's kind of nifty. It kind of, I don't have to worry about the chin quite as much. But hi, babe.
Hello.
Grim's a little under the weather.
Just a little.
Just a little.
What do we got over there? I see a Brandon.
Oh yes, hey, it's tooled up. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Brandon, nice to have you. 9:30 p.m. It's dark and chilly, and that's just my mind. Yeah, right? Like, it is kind of dark and chilly. Lots going on right now, huh? Lots going on.
Don't mind me. I'm just sitting here in self-pity right now, so.
You're in self-pity? Oh, because you're not feeling well? Well, Grim, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
We were just, before you got here, and thank you for the tea, by the way. Before you got here, we were talking about the energy shifts, and I was asking everyone how their Tuesday has gone, and, oh, you're turning on and off lights.
Is it any different?
Yeah, it's different. We usually turn that one on over there.
That's what's going on. I spent an hour getting ready and still didn't get it right.
I know. At least you got your lipstick on. I have to tease him just a little.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. A lot of energy shifts. And, a lot of fear, heavy grief, that level of chaos energy Because chaos isn't always, it isn't necessarily negative. Chaos energy has positive and negative aspects to it. But in this way, we're speaking of fear and grief and extreme sadness and, that heartbreak that so many people are just experiencing right now, whether it's family in the wake of the storm or family buckling down to, see what it's saying right here? It just had like this little finger swiping across the screen and it told me to, but I can never read what it says in time. Does anybody know what that means? Help me, I'm new here. Anyways, we know that contributes to the overall vibrational frequency of our realm where we live, the place that we inhabit here, Mother Gaia, the earth. And if you joined us on Monday, Grim and I did a first Monday of the month live stream, and we discussed the power of the storm and also how we must carefully navigate it, because you see, Grim and I very much believe that we can help alter weather patterns. We've seen it time and again, not only within our own magic, but also the magic combined with other folks. Some of you have joined us in, doing some blessings for the element of water, and during a drought season or fire season, we've done some casting together like that. And at the same time, why am I saying that? What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Goodness knows. I had something important to say, but of course it just slips away like that sometimes, doesn't it? Element of water, element of water, element of air. Oh, yes, we need to be careful because, when we gather our energy to try to manifest an outcome that involves the weather, we are really working against Mother Nature, if you will, Mother Gaia's intended outcome. Now, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't fervently pray or ask for blessings of protection. I absolutely, call in what guardians you can right now, for the people that you love, the people that are in your community and your family. And even if you don't know anyone down there, never step foot in the state, right? Don't know, but still, you're empathic. You can feel the plight of folks that are stuck, unable to get anywhere. There's nowhere to go for them. And now there's no gasoline left in many sites. So folks are really having to hunker down if they haven't fled already. And you all know this. You all know that. But it really contributes to the fabric of the magic that is surrounding us right now. And even more so in the wake of last week's horrific storm, Helene, the Hurricane Helene. The very fabric of the magic of Appalachia has shifted. Knowledge, some storylines are closed now. Some old spells and some folk magic remedies might not be passed down now because folks have been lost. Books, grimoires have been lost. We were joking the other night about, not really joking though, but even something like Granny's favorite cast iron skillet that was used specifically for making black salt, passed down generation to generation, carried off in the mud. And so things are shifting and changing. And as I said, A couple of nights ago, Grim and I were talking. We said, you thought those hills and hollers were haunted before. It's changing the fabric of everything.
They're going to be haunted.
Remember that when we do ask for blessings of protection, blessings that, some folks are asking that the storm dissipates. Some folks are asking that the storm just takes the path of least resistance, that it travels where it's going to cause the least amount of damage, right? Knowing, and here's where it gets a little tricky as a witch, because I know that she needs to run her course. I know that you know that she needs to run her course. Yes, I know this is a once in a lifetime kind of storm. Yes, I know what the predictions are. I understand it. Am I saying that I approve of and ask for, the harm and or death and damage to life and limb and property? Hell no. But Mother Nature is, sometimes we just got to ride it out, we got to ride it out.
Non-biased.
And so absolutely ask for blessings of protection, carry, white light, the highest form of protective white light, or like that very, very, very vivid pale blue light that sometimes we work with, or purple, of course. Whatever you find the most comforting. Yes, I know that some people say it's this color or that, but in these kind of moments, you use the color that is present in your mind. Trust your own instinct in this one. We have lots of ground to cover, literally. Lots of souls to, pray for. Lots of animals, creatures, plants, and otherwise that are being affected by this storm as well. So, know that also in this realm, when you ask for something, there's typically a balance. Some folks would consider it a debt. I don't look at it as a debt. I look at it as equal energy exchange with the universe. There's typically something that you have to, offer in exchange, essentially. And so while folks are asking for, the universe, God, Goddess to, allow this storm to lessen its strength and lose its power, and as it strikes the coast of Florida, that it just kind of fizzles out, and I totally understand that, but know that there's a balance there. What's the balance going to be? And it's, it's worth it to not lose like thousands, hundreds of lives. Who knows how many are really in the path right now? No one really knows, and that's part of the issue that's so difficult. And I'm supposed to be reading tarot card, Grim, but this is really, it's been weighing on my mind because we did our live stream on Monday night and we talked about this topic, but we didn't really offer a prayer as a group. And I think it's been weighing on my mind, but I think it's because more than anything, as much as we all want to gather our energies together and allow this storm to loosen its hold, we all need to do it from a sovereign point of view. Where do you come from? What are your intentions in asking for this? Are your intentions truly, truly that you're wanting to assist and help? Are you fearful? Are you have family? Like, what are your intentions? No answer is right or wrong, by the way. I'm not setting you up for judgment there. I'm saying it's up to you what your reasons are for praying for that sort of thing. And certainly Grim and I have been doing our fair share. Haven't we, Grim?
I've just been having a difficult time weighing for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So whatever effect witches may have across the nation in affecting this storm in any way, what is the balance, the trade-off, the equal and opposite reaction?
Right.
That's where I get hung up at. So
Right, because every time we've thought about, we're steering the storm away from our covenstead, away from the bus, away from the church. Every time we do that, we know it's steering towards someone else. And, we've got to bear that in mind when you're practicing magic. Does that mean that, we've got to, tread lightly and pussyfoot around? No, sometimes you just got to jump in and make a decision for yourself, right?
yeah.
And Michelle says over here, not only the hurricane, but the fires also. And there's no emergency services, right? There's no one. They've all fled. First responders too?
I think it's 13 counties on the Florida coast that are under a required evacuation. It's something like that, and even first responders evacuate.
Yeah.
So for those that stay behind, there are no first responders.
Right. Well, hello to a few more folks. I'd like to say hello to Victoria and Maria and Lovetta and Susan and Naomi and Michelle and Verla. Hello to all of you folks. Love you muchly. Glad you're here with us. We've just had a lot on our minds about this storm, and I know all of us are saying a little prayer.
Busy says on TikTok, I saw one witch call for all the airbenders to help try and pull energy from the storm. And that's where my quagmire is, because if we're pulling energy from the storm, that energy has to go somewhere. And it's energy that was intended for this event to take place. So, I have a hard, boy, witchy morality sucks.
It sometimes does. And there might be people right now that are listening to us talk about this and go, how could you not know? How could you not just automatically pray? There goes a card. But the fact is, we do pray. We pray for the best possible outcome. That's the best way we can think about it. Knowing that there is the potential for a lot of devastation, we hope that and pray and ask for protection from whatever guides, ancestors, any from other realms that you connect with, your own master self, right? Your own divine guidance. Wherever you turn when you are feeling like there's really nowhere else to turn. I know we've all felt that way before.
No.
Yeah. This is just a particularly melancholy kind of energy going on because there was already so much loss just last week. Mm-hmm. And now to be facing a storm and, there but by the grace of God, how does that phrase go? Go I. Because, it's been a long time since was that the dog?
Yeah, that was the dog.
What the heck?
That was a growl of something.
She was like growling and clicking at the same time. I have never heard her do that before.
Was that her teeth chattering?
I don't know what that truly was. But anyways, we're hoping that you understand what we're talking about the energy shift, about being cautious. Be careful what you ask for. You know, knowing that right now magic will exact its measure in this realm. There is a trade-off. Not saying don't say prayers and blessings of protection. We're saying the opposite of that. But be careful about if you are asking the energy to dissipate, to like just fizzle out, or to have it jump or turn, or whatever you're thinking of. You've got to be very exact in the wording. Grimmer, I thought you'd have more to say about this. No, I'm on my own here.
Yep, I'm going to have you just sit there on your own and
Thank
figure
you.
this one out.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate that.
You're pretty much hitting it on the head, though, because it is about balance. And that's what these storms are. Storms are nothing more than nature seeking atmospheric balance. So if we're going to disrupt that for our own needs, we need to be cognizant of it and aware of what the possible unbalancing could mean.
Right. Well, isn't there another card on the floor? Was really only this one?
It's the only one I see.
Because I swear this is the one we pulled last week, but I might be wrong. I'll get to that in a second.
I don't want to read this.
I don't want.
Damn it.
Well, I just don't know.
And I got a dog really bugging to go
Of course,
outside.
she always has to go out when we do 420-ish.
It's like
tarot.
Tarot cards are her bladder response.
Hi to some folks out there. Looks like I'm loving or liking my own live. That must be you, Grimmer. Are you using my phone?
I'm using your account.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm... Okay.
You're just giving yourself some self-love.
Hello. Sylvie withstanding. Hello. I saw one which called Airbenders. That was Dizzy. Hello, Luna Moon. Nice to have you. Janae 11 or 110, I should say. Invite Gussie Duck to join as a guest. Let's do that. That would be funny. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it muchly. Okay, somebody else said Gina Zanigua. I love that name. I love names that start with Z. I find Z such an interesting letter. Plus, it is fun to write in cursive, y'all. I still love to write in cursive from time to time. Okay, so the card that jumped out and landed at my feet as we were talking about this Hurricane Milton that is going to be hitting land, they say, somewhere around 2 a.m. And, God bless the people that are still sheltering down there. I really hope that the goddess enfolds them in her arms and just keeps them safe, rock them like a boat, but let them, stay above water, let them not be harmed, as many as possible. But just as Grim was saying before he took the doggy outside, there's a balance. And we also have to remember that as much as we don't like how it sounds, and it sounds horrible, but when something catastrophic happens like this, we have to shrug our shoulders and say, not saying anyone was a bad person or a good person or anything like that, but it's a cleansing. It is a shift, just like we were talking about. It's a shift in the magic. Some of the magic has been lost now because it might have been, Granny waiting to give a recipe or start talking to one of her grandchildren, and either the Book of Shadows is now lost or Granny is lost, or or worse. Some entire villages, cities, little towns are just gone in those hollers. So I shouldn't say cities, but Asheville, I know, has really suffered, and that's a fairly big location.
Shelby
Anywho,
says she has a friend and an aunt that are staying through this upcoming
oh gosh. Well, I know, and some people don't have a choice, and some folks, if they don't have a choice because of their health, some folks feel like they don't have anywhere else to go. So our heart just goes out to
anybody.
But this card that popped up, and I've got some comments to read over here. Cheryl Vandenberg says, I agree, we as humans have taken a toll on the world. Storms are used to cleanse. And she does have family and friends in Florida. So it is true. Storms of those sort of catastrophic levels especially, it's a cleansing opportunity. We might not be able to see what that opportunity is right now because we're still in the grief process.
I can firsthand, back in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Olympic Peninsula, little town of Sequim, Washington, has a river that runs through it called the Dungeness River.
Right.
It's not a very long river. I think total it's 22 miles long, but it's undammed and natural, runs wild. It has a predictable flood cycle of approximately every 7 years. It will go into a flood stage, and somewhere along its route, it will change course completely and stay altered for the duration.
Right.
But that whole Sequim Valley, because of that altering, meandering, predictable flood, created some of the richest farmland in Washington State. So that is what Mother Nature is doing. She's dispersing her resources, moving them around, making them usable and affordable, or not affordable, but accessible. What did that say?
It restricted for some audiences. Must have been under 18 again.
What did we say?
I took over here though. I thought I was allowed to exhale. I guess not. Anyways,
No, so what I'm saying is that's the purpose. That's what Mother Nature's doing. She's redistributing, realigning, recycling, renewing.
Right. Well, and so here's this card popping up. By the way, I'm using the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. It's my favorite little deck at this time of year. I don't typically use Oracle decks very often, but I love this one. It's just got a shadowy, darker vibe to it, as it should at this time of year. But this card popped out. It's popped out a few times now. It's the Dark Moon. It says, there's always a little poem down here, like a little adage, I guess. In the dark of your heart lives new breath waiting for you to release its ghost. I know we talked about this, I swear it was just a couple days ago, because this is about an opportunity for us to create something better. Not that it will ever replace what has been lost, because it's irreplaceable. That's the thing that we have to recognize. Some of those historic towns in those hills and hollers, there's there's no way to replace the history, the people, but the folks that are still there, and they will rebuild, and they will recreate as much of their culture, I know, as they possibly can. And so this is a time for us to also,
Ooh, wow.
a lot of our grandparents hailed from those hills. A lot of us have ancestors that were Scots-Irish or Native, or even like Sage said, a little Viking thrown in. A lot of us come from that stock, that blend I guess you would say.
As you were talking here, I just got hit with this image. I can understand the flood myths from a different perspective now. Not just the biblical flood myths, but the many dozens and dozens of flood myths around the world that was culture altering.
Right.
And this,
Right.
this.
Oh, babe.
Oh.
We need to make you some tea after this.
Anyways, this flood is one of those culture-altering floods that is biblical in their
Right.
in every sense of the word.
And it's not just there. I mean, that part of the country and the magic there, the people there, the culture there, the music there, the history there. It's part of I keep saying fabric, but it's really true. It's like, it's the tapestry.
Yeah.
It's part of the very tapestry that makes the USA what it is, what makes North America, good or bad. I'm not talking about colonization, but I'm saying it is what it is right now. And so, anyways, I wanted to read to you about the dark moon. So, in the mystical world, the dark moon is a time of setting intentions and welcoming new beginnings. It is the beginning of the moon cycle and represents a chance to start fresh with new and renewed energy. The dark moon is like the last stretch of darkness before the rise of the dawn, or in this case, the moon. It represents hope, better days to come, and an easier road to travel. This period supports visualizing and is a great time to expand your mind. If you're holding the dark moon card, know there is always a chance to start again. Your situation may seem like the end of the road, but it is not, especially for those who know the power of spirit. You must have hope even when things seem too hard to bear. There's always a new moon just a few weeks away, and there will always be a new opportunity waiting for you as well. It may not come as quickly as you like, but hope is a powerful force and will set things in motion for you. I love that card, the dark moon. Yes, it is not the dark moon right now, but this card has come up several times in readings recently, and it is all about a chance to start again. It's a new opportunity to learn. I think...
Well, seasonally speaking, that's what we're going into. The winter.
Yes.
That dark moon.
That's true.
The
The dark part of the year. Yes, indeed. Ooh. I love this time of year. It gave me a little...
I don't blame you.
So, I love this deck. It was written by Lorianne Anderson and Juliet Diaz, which I have a couple of Juliet Diaz's, some of the other things that she's authored. But it's a really sweet deck. I get it out every year, and there's a lot of information in the card. I'll let you see what the picture looks like of dark moon. There's a lot of, there's some images in the background if you allow your eye to kind of focus out a little bit. But I find I just love what she has to say in the little booklet that comes with it. You know me, I don't often get the little booklets out. But this one I do, because it makes sense to me, and I couldn't say it any better myself. And sometimes if I couldn't say it better myself, why should I? Let the card speak, let the author speak. This is her oracle deck in the first place. Look, I think my phone is getting low on juice.
Oh, yes, it is. You got your chargers right next to you there.
Oh, boy. Well, I think I've read a card.
You did read a
I think we can probably... we were going to say a little prayer, though, weren't we? For those that would like to stick around and, join us in a blessing of protection more than what we have already done. Just get my phone plugged in there. You're more than welcome to stick around because we'd love to have you. And also, absolutely know that it is important. I just heard somebody ask about focusing on air. Like I heard that question. Should we focus on the element of air? Yes, but also not just the element of air. It isn't just the wind that you have to worry about in this situation. It's the waves that are being pushed out ahead of the storm.
It's the ground that's displaced.
It's the earth, it's the air, it's the fire, as Michelle said, and it's the water. So being a good Grey Witch, we seek balance as much as possible. So, and however you cast this evening your own personal prayers of protection and strength, because the folks that are there, the folks that are waiting, the folks that are like LJ living, hundreds of miles away, but yet family in the devastating path that it's projected to follow.
Current projections are it's going to run just south of Tampa,
Right.
mitigating the seawall to less damaging locations.
Okay. Right, because Tampa's pretty populated area.
Yeah, and it's Tampa Bay, so it's got
Oh, it's in that Bay
it's in
area.
that key shape.
Right. Okay. Well, so if you're able, close your eyes. I don't want you driving and closing your eyes or anything silly like that. But if you're in a spot right now where you're able to close your eyes, if you can feel your bottom on the chair or the bench or the bed or the floor. Did I already say chair? Feel it now. Sometimes I find myself rocking when I do that. I guess just shifting from one cheek to the next. Really feeling myself in the space that I'm in right now. Hearing my own voice. Taking some good deep breaths and hearing my own breath. In breath and out breath. Just some good deep breaths on your own. There's no race or limited amount of time to hold it. Just do your thing. Breathe comfortably. Breathe as deeply as you can. Go at your own pace. But listen to yourself. Realize that your heart is beating, your blood is flowing, your lungs are breathing, and all the cells are doing all of the changing and shifting and absorbing that they need to do. You are made of the very elements around us. In this sacred and liminal space, we call upon those elements now. We call them here gently. To hear not just my voice, but our voices in unison. The elements that are our very ancestors. Our very ancestors. Calling upon our own God, Goddess energy, that divine connection to Source, to the universe. Oh, and also past lives, current lives, future selves, ancestors, guides, any from other realms that we may or may not even be aware of, that are here in support of our next best step on this journey, that are here in support of gathering wisdom, understanding, sharing light. Not all of us can afford to send help or fly south or drive south to offer assistance, but we can offer our prayers, our energy, our requests, our petitions. We call into this sacred space those energies that are gathered here, surrounding us in protection and love. From angels to fairies, familiars to crystals and plants, allies in this world and beyond. I call all of you here with us now to share in this beautiful, peaceful energy that we create together. We ask that though this storm Milton needs to blow, and blow it will, for some reason the ferocity of one storm or two recently hasn't been enough. Some reason there's another one on its way. In an area that really hasn't seen a lot of storm activity in quite a long time. For some people, this is a life-changing event. We stand withstanding with those people now. We are withstanding with one another. Have some tea. We are withstanding with one another. We are withstanding with our brothers and sisters in the southern states and all connected. I know this story has touched people worldwide, and so it should. We ask that Mother Nature seeks the path of least resistance, that the very elements be guided in the direction that will allow this storm to just affect the least amount of people, animals, property, land. We ask angels, archangels to stand. I don't know why I'm saying that, because there is just something that seems very, very, very triumphant about this storm. And I mean that. I mean, there's something about it that and those of you that know me, I don't work a lot with angelic energy anymore, but once in a while it kind of zooms right in here. And this is one of those situations. So we're welcoming that energy, welcoming those names. I'm hearing so many names flooding in. This is one of those times when I wish I had paid a little better attention in catechism class. Or I wish I had my sister Reverend Patience on here with me, because girl can quote some Bible verse, I will tell you that. Indigo Psychics, by the way, if she's out there. But I kept hearing just now, as I was hearing this like cacophony of names, in this space that I've created with you all, I kept hearing Ezekiel, and I'm thinking, damn, what's that story? What's that story about Ezekiel? That was the most prominent name. I heard a bunch of other names along with it, but that was the one. And of course, my brain, do you remember what that story is?
What's that?
About Ezekiel, the angel? Isn't that an angel? I know I'm terrible about not knowing my Christian lore anymore. It's just, I haven't retained a lot of that stuff. So anybody know that answer? Please, write it in the comments. No, I'm not an idiot. I just been focusing on many other things over the last nearly 58 years. So, and like I said, I should have paid better attention, maybe, when I was studying the Bible. But, it was a big social event for the kids in the little town that I grew up in. The youth group and Sunday school and all that, that was a social thing. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But remembering who Ezekiel was is kind of not sticking. So, hey, would love to hear. And if not, I will go and research it myself. I actually have an angels book in the bathroom because, that's where you do the most intense reading. But no, I do. I have a book on angels in there, and I'm sure that name will be in there, and then I'll read it and I'll go, oh, duh. Ugh. I just know that it's got to blow, baby, blow. And we got to let the storm do its thing. But if we all think about stirring that pot and keeping those ancestors safely guarded around us and those we love, and people, in the communities down south, just holding everyone while this storm runs its course, blows on through, may it just do its thing and blow on through with the least amount of life lost. That's the most we can hope for, 0 lives lost would be incredible. But I'm also including critters, animals, bugs, spiders, there's a lot. Even animals that are caught up in the hurricane waters. There's a lot going on right now. And so, anyhow. You got some words of wisdom there, babe?
At some point during your talk and meditation prayer, you had made a statement that we're made of the very elements.
We're made of the very elements.
And that brought me down a rabbit hole going, well, yeah, we are made of the elements of the periodic table. I wonder which things there are. Exactly 21 different elements on the periodic table are what it takes to create our body and keep us alive. But the most common things, the 4 most common ingredients, are all gases. Oxygen, carbon gas, hydrogen, and nitrogen.
Well, that makes sense.
It's just cool to me.
I mean, you knew this before, didn't you?
I didn't. I knew we were made of elements, but I never realized that some 60% of our body is made up of gas, of space, of air, of... It just puts perspective into how I will relate to magic, I think, a little bit.
I love that. I do. I love that for you. No, I do, though.
You're not quite feeling it the way I am. I get that.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm not, and that's okay.
No, it is.
I'm also reading some of these comments here. Thank you, Susan, by the way, for posting the Dark Moon group card. Maria says, yes, Ezekiel is an angel. Cheryl says, all archangels are warriors. Susan says, the Abrahamic religions acknowledge Ezekiel as a prophet. According to the narrative, Ezekiel prophesied the destruction of Judah's capital city, Jerusalem. Then in 587 BCE, the Babylonian Empire conquered Jerusalem, destroyed Solomon's temple, and sent the Jewish upper classes into the Babylonian People keep posting, and then it keeps jumping around. I keep losing my spot. The name Ezekiel means God is strong, or God strengthens. Right. So, yeah. Withstanding. And I love that that name came through. I mean, obviously, that's not one that I work with very often, but you damn well bet that I'm going to be looking a little bit more into it. And who knows, it could have been, I did feel as we were, as I was focused on calling in those energies, which are still here present with us now, by the way. But I feel a lot of ancestors around us. Not just my ancestors, not just Grimm's, but a lot of ancestors gathered in. The other day I made a comment, I kind of feel recently like Whoopi Goldberg from that movie Ghost with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. Because when she first started off, she had all those ghosts like crowding around her.
Yeah.
And she didn't know how to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's been pretty easy, like over the last, however many decades, to learn to kind of keep them at bay. But the thinner the veil gets, and the more and more people awaken to their spiritual path, the more and more accessible these other realms are. These other realms of existence. So the veil is thinner now than it ever has been in our lifetimes. And it makes crossing over, or riding the hedge, however you want to refer that, it makes it much easier to do, because the veil itself is not nearly as
resistant.
Yeah, I want to say thick.
Yeah.
As it used to be.
Less gelatinous.
Yeah, it's not as hard to kind of, move through it. So
it's translucent.
But it might have been somebody's grandfather, great-great-grandfather, might have been one of mine. I mean, I would imagine Ezekiel is from the Bible, so I'm sure that is a fairly common bloodline name. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say probably a bloodline name.
Yep, probably. So, whoever that is, we called those energies here for our greatest and highest good. The other energies were not welcome here, anything malevolent or negative that isn't here for a greater purpose of understanding ourselves. It's not welcome in this space. But a lot of ancestors. By the way, if you're interested, I do readings for people all the time. $75 an hour. I keep it low. I always go over an hour, but I don't charge you for that, so just bear with me and bring a notepad, something to write with, pencil and paper, whatever. I sometimes assign homework, I'll be honest. Teacher forever, it doesn't, take the horse, what's that word, lead the horse? No.
Take the horse to water.
No, that's not quite the right phrase, but, I once a teacher, always a teacher. I guess that's what I'm saying. But if you need a reading, or you'd like to try to contact...
You can take the teacher out of the classroom. You can't take the classroom out of the teacher.
There you go, that works. If you'd like a reading, or try to contact a loved one, we can certainly do that.
Or make the attempt.
Excuse me, I need my tea back, babe. Now I'm going to get whatever ucky bug you have, right? No, cancel that. I did not say that. Cancel.
Not say that.
Cancel. Don't need to speak that into existence. Hell no. Knock on wood. Anyhow, join us each night. If you're wondering, well, I really think Gussie's a hoot, and I can't wait to see Grimm when he's feeling better. And you might think, how can I involve myself with the Purple Door? What can I do? Besides get a reading, which if you need a reading, reach out on... Thank you. To who?
The camera.
Oh, yeah! Oh, thank you, Grimm. I will, but...
Yes.
That was...
I know.
Okay. Because now I don't remember what I was saying, you stinker. Why is...
you could help, you were asking for that.
It says they've detected inactivity.
What?
I don't know.
That's weird. Hi, we're active. You haven't been moving around.
I guess
enough.
I haven't been moving enough.
Yeah.
Ah!
People need to tap on your screens.
Yeah,
Tap,
please.
Tap, 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 tap,
Too
tap,
much
tap.
inactivity, folks. Get that body moving. Well, while Grim interrupted me, I might as well say, Shannon, if you're still here, thank you ever so much for this new... See, I told you I was going to get your... I just didn't think it would be so fast. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Erase, erase, erase. Anyway, Shannon, thank you for this new camera because it is great. And as soon as this one's feeling better, I'll be able to shift over a little bit and he'll be on screen with me. We look forward to that. We haven't been on the same screen in many years. Not nicely. This is a great camera, so we appreciate it. And it was wonderful to have dinner with y'all last night. Once in a while, we get to meet some of our Purple Door folks, and it just warms our heart. Whether we drive through an area or sometimes folks come this direction, it's always wonderful to spend time together when we're able to. That's part of that withstanding thing. So what I was saying before is if you feel pulled to join us, further for more live streams like this, we try to do 420-ish tea and tarot on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 420-ish Eastern Standard Time. And then every evening around 9 p.m., your time, wherever you live, we ask that maybe, if you felt drawn to do this, you could take a few minutes to pause and ground yourself and do some releasing of energy that, isn't necessary anymore. And then do some breathing like we did just a few minutes ago at your own pace. And then send out peaceful, loving vibes. You don't have to be that perfect person meditating. And I know sometimes it's hard not to fall asleep. Don't punish yourself for that. Just do what you can for as long as you can. It doesn't mean you're in for the night. You might have to get back up and go do 20 more things, or you might want to wait to pause until you're ready for bed that night, and that's okay too. But pause for peace, allowing love and compassion and balance and harmony and communication, understanding, allowing those vibes to emanate from you, and joining the vibes of all the rest of the Purple Door witches and folks from Covened Up and the guilds of the Purple Door. We do this at night. We've been doing this at 9 p.m. every night for several years now, and it's a very peaceful, I got a peaceful, easy feeling. I'm silly. I love to sing, but anyways, sometimes those songs pop in my head. Also, on the 28th of this month, we are doing a Purple Door Witch Wave, which you're all invited to as long as you're a member of the Purple Door. And a Purple Door Key here, and the Purple Door on other social media outlets. And that's for free if you're a member. You just have to be in that group because it is a private group. We do that on purpose.
Who? That song you were just singing?
Yeah.
What was it?
I got a peaceful,
Who sings that?
easy feeling.
Who sings that?
I think it's the Eagles.
Yeah.
'Cause
Read
I'm
that.
already standing. Oh, really? Someone's listening to the Eagles now. Perfect. Perfect. Hi, Cassie. Nice to have you. That's a name I don't recognize, so if we've not met before, hello, hello. And the other thing that we do on Samhain every year, Grim and I host a perpetual cauldron, which we have a lighting ceremony. We light a cauldron, and we basically tend the cauldron fire for
24 hours.
24 hours.
No, I'm sorry, 12 hours.
Well, we shoot for 24 Every year we shoot for 24. That one is really hard to achieve because it's just the two of us. But so usually 12 hours is what we can maintain. But anyhow, we're going to see what we can do this year, right? Because we got more people this year. But anyways, we will do a perpetual cauldron, and at the end of that evening, we host a ritual where we will read ancestors' names, write them in our Book of the Dead, and it's just a really lovely ceremony that we've done in the past. Sometimes it's funny, I just found these recently. A purple door witch came back from Thailand, or India, I'm sorry, and brought me these little white butterflies one year, and so she said, do whatever you want with them, but use them as an art project or whatever you feel drawn to. So we had folks write names every time I did a reading or held a seance or whatnot. At our covenstead, people would write the names of the ancestors that they were hoping to contact. And then at the end of the season on Samhain, we burned in our perpetual cauldron. We burned the butterflies, and that was really lovely. A lovely releasing and connecting at the same time. So anyhow, I think that's about it. And if you need a reading, reach out to me or Grim, Gussie and Grimmed Up. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, but not much. One thing at a time, y'all.
We're on each other's minds.
We are. We are. I hope y'all have a really wonderful night. I hope that we can, gather together and be strong and fearless in this storm. Not fearful, fearless. And not to make stupid mistakes, but knowing that, we need to withstand with one another. We need to wrap our arms around one another's shoulders. We need to hold on. Red Rover, we've talked about that a lot. That silly game from childhood that we love to play. You can't break through this chain, and that's what we are forming. We're forming a chain of resilience, a chain of protection and guidance, knowing that the storm needs to storm. And we need to allow that nature to take its course, and we understand that. But at the cost of as few lives as possible. Animal, plant, and otherwise. All right. Love you all. I hope you have a blessed evening. Grim, I know that you are going to feel better by tomorrow. We'll make you some soup. And I hope that you all stay magical. Bye. No, I don't ever say bye last. I don't. I say stay magical last. So stay magical. Well, okay, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to do this one. You got to move your arm though, babe. Stay magical. Ridiculous.